Hello and welcome to the final episode of DWN Productions Terrible Horror Crap Podcast, sponsored by Fast Custom Shirts here for the last time at BOYGOB.com. As you could tell, last week mm, might have been a little bit of a fallout, but we both thought that we owed it to all of you, all four of you, to give you one last show. So, Joe, here we are. Another week has passed. How was yours?
Well, as I can see probably by the video quality, Tom, I am on Ice Station Zebra right now. So, being out here stuck in the middle of nowhere, it gets that fuzzy look, but it kind of gives it that retro thing that everybody's into now. So, definitely, definitely going to boost viewership, I think. Uh, as for the week was busy, and then I went to Pittsburgh as I do every year for Horror Realm. And it took me a while to get into the vibe, Tom, because as we got to Pittsburgh Friday morning, I decided, hey, let me check my bank account, see what's going on.
Mm.
And it seems like there was an anomaly there. There was much less money there than there should have been. Uh, Tried to call while I had time, but it was put on hold for quite a while. And then it's like I ran out of time, had to go do the show. So while I was trying to have a good time, in the back of my mind, I was just worried about this the whole time. And, as people are buying shit, I'm just thinking, this isn't enough. This is, the thing cleared up this morning, but the whole weekend, like, I was just like, fuck, things are bad enough. I'm hoping, this trip is going to help out some. And yeah, I was just kind of worried, but I did manage to have a good time. Everybody that came to the table, I've told you to listen to the show. Hopefully you did. So thank you. You can tune off now. No, we give it a few minutes so we can get some numbers. But no, thank you. Thank you to Rich and Michelle that always put us up and let us stay in their home. Tim Gross for throwing a party with a lot of people that aren't even from the area but used to go to the show or whatever. And yeah, Brian Huey, thanks for bringing me some beer, man. The guys from Severin that are right next to me, always real cool, always real cool with me. It was a good time, but I wish I wouldn't have had that hanging over my head the whole time. It definitely fucked me up. So, if it didn't seem like I was as on my game or attentive to some of you that were out there, that's the reason why. And I just didn't want to voice it and curse myself even further. But
You should have just put it out of your head and not thought about it, Joe. Don't worry about stuff you can't control.
nothing you can
Yeah.
control, might as well. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Like that can happen.
Yeah, and even last night, like we were at Rich's house, and I wake up in the middle of the night just thinking about my bank, thinking about numbers and everything, and I know nothing updates until Monday, so there's nothing I can do, of course. So I just go sit in the shitter on the phone. I don't have to shit or anything, but I just can't. I can't sleep, and I don't want to keep Lisa awake if I'm tossing and turning. So, shit, that's the only place I could go because it's cold out there in Pittsburgh. I can't go sit outside. So yeah, just sat on the shitter, just scrolling through the phone for a couple hours until I said, "Man, maybe I'm tired enough to sleep now."
Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing up so late texting that night.
Yeah, because you were texting me, and it's like, man, I just, I didn't even tell you what was going on. I was just like, don't
It's
feel
got enough problems.
yeah. But yeah, I tried. Really tried to have a good time, and everybody else there made an effort. I think I faked it pretty well for the most part. But yeah.
Well, most importantly, were you able to cover the trip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely covered the trip. I think after I looked at the numbers, I'm sure I made a profit. And this year, because we flew Southwest, I usually ship 6 boxes up there. This year, I think we shipped 4, and I took 2 carry-on bags full of shirts, and usually have to send back at least 1.5 boxes. But this time I think we brought back 2 on the carry-on, so that saved me, that shipping and everything. So there's that. I kind of figured out the numbers to bring and what the people there want.
All Dawn of the Dead shit.
Yeah, I guess I could have gone with that, but no, I kept it really mainstream this time because it was the Terrifier guy was their main guest, and that movie is blown up like a whole lot, and it's brought in, whether you like it or not, it's brought in a new crop of fans. So there was a lot of younger people there than we've seen in the past. People that have never gone to the show before, and hopefully they'll start looking into other horror stuff, and it just won't be, oh, I just like Terrifier. They might, actually dig around. They might give new life to some of the older films that we like, and maybe we'll see.
That'll definitely happen. That's what happened to everybody who gets into movies. So
yeah,
it's the circle, Joe, or the cycle.
The circle of jerks.
Fuck. Number 1, molested by friends or whatever the fuck.
We'll get to that maybe, depending on how you're feeling at that point. Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Well, my connection's fucked, so hopefully you can still hear me.
It's Carberry Shane's birthday.
Happy birthday! He's a moose. Did you know? He's a moose who speaks.
You should be actually doing something much funner than watching this show at your birthday, but thanks for joining us anyway.
Well, I mean, he's Canadian, so this is about as much fun as they get.
A lift of Molson to you. I'm drinking water tonight. It's got to give the old liver some time to recuperate.
So, how was the actual crowd itself?
The crowd, Friday
better
was
than previous years. Because when we speak of this one, it's not well. I don't want to say it's not well attended, but I'll say it's not a big show.
No, it's not. It's not a big show. It, I guess, in the past has been well attended. They tell me for Pittsburgh. They say it's hard to get anybody in Pittsburgh to go out to do anything in a big crowd unless it's like a free street festival or something. But the crowd this year, Saturday especially, was consistent all day. Usually the dealer room has lulls. There'll be a lot of people, and then all of a sudden there's nobody because there's a panel going on or something, and then the people come back. This time there was consistently people in there, and I was making sales the whole time, but like I said, I was like, fuck, is this going to make up for what's missing in the bank that I don't know where it went? But yeah, they're, it was good, and they were spending money. The guys from Severin, they were making their sales, and they were really hoping that the box sets would move for them. And they, Jamie was kind of like, man, these just aren't going. These just aren't. But Sunday, I guess people were waiting for Sunday to get those on the way out. So they started selling that stuff at that point. Unfortunately, right behind me, and you know how I hate when people play their own music, right? At shows. Well, behind me was the guy that I guess he owns the Buffalo Bill House from Silence of the Lambs, and he's turned this into a B&B. Okay, man, that's your hustle. That's cool, and people were going to check it out. But he was playing that Goodbye Horses song on fucking stop. And it was the Severin guys that told me when they got there, they saw him and said, oh, fuck, not this guy. And they said, you like Goodbye Horses, Joe? Because you're going to hear it. You're going to fucking hear it a lot. And I managed to tune that out, I guess, at some point. But they, every time
it just becomes the noise of the room after a while.
Yeah, but every time I noticed that, hey, I'm not hearing it anymore, one of the Severin guys said, Goodbye Horses. Oh, fuck. Yeah, pretty cool. And since I knew I didn't have a whole lot of room and luggage this time, I really didn't buy a lot. But I did buy a lot, Tom. As you know, I'm trying to liquidate my DVD collection and get rid of stuff, but that's kind of hard to do when your buddies at Severin are there. They did have one that I wanted that I picked up, and that is Acción Mutante from Alex de la Iglesia. So picked up
Well,
a copy of me for
something happened.
and a
I
copy
don't
for.
know what, but he got severed maybe because their site went down too, you know.
Oh, probably so many people
But
want
yeah,
this.
he'll pop back up and show us all the good stuff that he got from old Severin. I don't know why it would be he's back.
Hmm.
Joe, you're back.
Did I really go out? What the
You
fuck?
did.
Should I just go to the phone then, or what?
No, I wouldn't, because my internet's been fucking spotty too. We're just gonna fucking do this, Joe. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna get mad this time.
All right. So, like as I was saying, I picked up a copy of Acción Mutante from our buddies at Severin, and this is one of the ones that I went for that I was like really hoping that they would have, and yeah, they did. So I got a copy for me, and I got a copy for Tom. So you'll be seeing a review of this at some point in the future.
Woo!
Yeah, I really
Hey,
like this
thanks,
guy's
guys.
movies.
You
And
got
this
a
is
couple
one.
masks heading your way.
All right. Also picked up what I'm told is a horrendous Dracula versus Frankenstein because I am a mark for Frankenstein. It's got a cool cover, you know, very comic booky, but I'm sure it won't live up to that. uh, got Australia After Dark. I don't know. This is just some sleaze from Australia, and it's Australia. It can't be too sleazy. You know, what do they know about sleaze? This is not a Severin
Should have
release,
got the masturbating gunman.
but Jamie gave me a copy of Flatwoods, his movie that he made that I made shirts for. So you can look that up. You can order the shirt. Can you order it on the site? I think you can. Yeah. They did not have the
I'll
masturbating.
let you guys guess which one of these movies Joe will not be watching.
I've seen it. I think I talked about it on the show like
Okay.
20 episodes back or so. Then I got Cop Game. This is one of their new Italian action releases or something. Maybe. I don't know. I'll find out. Another one I was after, Tom, is Tales to Keep You Awake. I think this was out on DVD like 15, 20 years ago. I didn't pick it up, so now I do. Got it. This is more Spanish anthology shit. Then I have this. I don't know. There's 3 movies on this. You got Axe, which I've never seen. Kidnapped Co-ed. That sounds promising. And Bloody Brothers? It would have been better if it was Bloody Brothels, but I guess Bloody Brothers is okay. I don't know. Got Double Target. It's got this same art that they're using on all their releases now. I don't know what it's about, but it looks just like the other movie. And this one, it looks like Crocodile Dundee. Born to Fight. I've seen a movie called Born to Fight, but it was Malaysian, and I don't think this is like that. Who knows? But anyway, Tom, also got a button of the Changeling. See that? It's a nice little button there. Or a pin, they call them, Tom. It's not a button. See this? This is
It's a
not
nice badge you got there, mate.
button.
Yeah?
Pin. This guy look familiar, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's William Lustig.
Mm-hmm. Old William Lustig from their Lustig set. And yeah, that's what I got from my convention neighbors, I think is the correct term. Yeah. That's that. Again, thanks to everybody that came by the table out there, and go shop my buddies over at Severin -.net. I think it's different now. I think they got that all cleared up, and maybe it's just Severin.com. I don't know.
So yeah. Yeah, I mean it's not really worth saying. We all know that Pennsylvania is really low-key hillbillies. the first time I went there, I was shocked at how almost deep south it is with some of these people since it's right next door to fucking West Virginia. It's a very low key hillbilly city. But yeah, that was it. I just wanted to throw that in there because I don't like fucking Pittsburgh. Was it gray when you went there, Joe?
It is a very gloomy looking city. But we never have been in the summer, so I don't know what their summers look like. But yeah, I've met a lot of friends there. Yeah. I appreciate their friendship.
It's
Yeah,
good.
it's good.
It's good, Joe.
How was your week, Tom?
Just making sure you can still hear me.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me? Terrific. Okay. Well, I got my taxes done.
No, just fucking with you.
You're a real piece of shit. I know. So I got my taxes done. This is the first year ever since I fucking started doing this that I'm getting money back. But that's only because I've been paying more than was owed without the deductions and all that. But made some sense why I'm really hurting right now and struggling to keep the dream alive, as they say. Made about $15,000 less last year, Joe.
Yeah.
Feel it. Definitely feel it.
Yeah.
So there was that.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have a quite a reduction as well when I do mine. But go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
Yeah, so then I was just like, no better time to go insulate the new mask hole since it's getting warmer out, it's getting humid out, things are going to need to be insulated. So but I don't know, $50, maybe $70 worth of spray foam, about $150 worth of caulk. So I spray foam the gaps in the metal building to like where all the pieces meet. There's these big gaps in it.
Mm-hmm.
And spray foam is very inconsistent. It'll come out like, and then after a while, it'll just spitter, spatter, and just come out however the fuck they want to. The delivery system for this stuff is garbage. They should just sell them all in little bitty cans, like little bitty one shot cans. So I'm spray foaming everything, get everything spray foam, go outside to make sure everything's filled in. It's but a bunch of it ran down the front and the back of the building. So now it just looks like complete fucking shit and garbage. If I want it to look nice, I'm going to have to go out there, sand it down, repaint it. Hopefully, I could find similar paint, even if it's a little bit fucking off. It's going to look even worse than if I just leave it. So I'll probably end up having to paint the front of the shop just for appearance purposes at some time. Maybe I'll just paint the whole thing black and take care of it like that. But just going up and down this ladder and up and down this ladder and moving around because like all these joint things have to be caulked and shit. I went through 15 fucking things of caulk. My hands were fucking swollen. I could barely move them the next day. It was fucking rough. But that doesn't matter because I had to clean the shop out because I had the insulation board coming today. So I had to very carefully and delicately so I wouldn't just scream from the pain of holding things. Just get everything out of the mask hole. So I did that, and then today the foam insulation was supposed to come from 12 to 4. My mom and I were going out for breakfast. In about 5 minutes from us driving from the house to get where I'm going, I get a call and say, hey, we're going to be there in about 30 minutes to deliver your insulation. All right, I guess I'm turning around. I booked this shit for the fucking afternoon, but that's all right. It's Lowe's, and you people are always fucked. Like the last fucking 3 things we got from Lowe's, it was just completely fucked, and people don't even show up in a Lowe's truck. They're not wearing fucking Lowe's clothes or anything. It's fucked, but I got the shit here. It doesn't matter. We went to IHOP afterwards. It wasn't good because it was IHOP, but it is what it is. I got a sculpture I'm going to be working on in the background while I'm putting up this insulation. I got a mask I got to paint, and other than that, I don't have any work lined up. So I'm just going to insulate the shop this week and paint my one order and hope that something comes in, Joe. I'm fucking busting my ass, sculpting, fucking making all this goddamn shit, and son of a bitch. But that's all right. You got 2 masks heading your way.
Just
I
keep
hope you
yourself
enjoy
busy
that shit. And
so you don't think about it, Tom. 2 years. 2 years.
Until I hit the pillow. Until my head hits the pillow. And then I'm not thinking about anything. And automatically it's all the horrible shit in life just floods through my fucking brain.
Oh, yeah, life's
It's not the best, Joe, but you know what? You know what they say. No one ever told me life was kind.
No.
They actually sang it to me, Joe. But yeah, it was what it was, man. Yesterday my hands were so goddamn swollen. I was taking ibuprofen like every 2 fucking hours. Cuz just doing that fucking caulk gun over and over and over on this 20 by 20 by 20 fucking building, it was just Jesus fucking Christ. Like my hands will cramp up and shit sometimes when I'm sculpting and shit, but god damn. That was rough. I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna fucking be out of work. But hey, I already am, so fuck it, swell up, you fucks.
Oh shit! It's
Oh,
funny.
it's gotta pick. It was fucked up. I had I sent your stuff out, and I think, oh yeah, the depression mask I painted on the live stream sold. So thank you for that. I hope you're a fan of the Charlotte Hornets. And then I had an eBay order that I sent out, dropped them off at the post office. They're just like, oh, we don't see you here that much anymore. Everything okay? You doing all right? And that's when I knew I was fucked. And the people at the post office were like, hey, where are you? Oh, dwnproductions.net. For the love of fuck. If you want something custom made, come on. Some guy fucking tagged me. Some guy wanted a fucking penis mask. I was just like, I need the money. I need the money. If you want it, here's what it'll be. Never heard from him. Normally, I wouldn't do that type of thing anymore, but
I know.
hard times.
I know.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. Sometimes your pride just has
Fuck.
to take a back
But at
seat.
least I'm getting likes.
Yeah, you're getting likes. Yeah, you're getting compliments.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. You know,
Yeah,
you're getting suggestions of what
sure
would
are.
sell. You know. Yeah, this delay is something else, huh? Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah. Joe, if you want to try, don't log off or anything. Just stay on there. And if you want to try it on your phone and then exit out of here once you have it on your phone.
I will attempt this.
You get what I'm saying? Leave that up, open it up on your phone. And while Joe attempts this, I'm going to say everybody. Now, there might not be another time for you to head on over to dwnproductions.net to excuse me, I'm going to do some spring cleaning soon. I was looking at the site and I have 31 masks, busts, and or props up there. And I thought, you know what? That's just a little bit too much. Maybe there's too much variety up there for people to choose from. So I'm gonna go through that, take a few things down. Not gonna tell you what, but go there, buy something, and let's see how this goes. Oh shit! Hey Joe, now take it off the computer. Hey Joe,
Wow, that
hey,
sounded cool.
is this better now?
I don't know if I got a delay or not now.
Do you have a delay? I finished talking now.
No, I guess not.
Okay. Well, Joe, fast custom shirts as well. Literally hundreds and hundreds of t shirt designs for you to wear, hang up, I guess. If you just want to cut the image up and make a little tapestry of it, maybe sew it on the back of your jean vest, or use it to clean up cum or dog semen, whatever whatever you want to do. But Joe, we talked about Pittsburgh. We talked about man's work, a man's work. And like I told you, once I'm done insulating this fucking mask hole, I'm gonna be way more Mexican than you are, son. But now it's time to talk about a couple movies, because that's all we watched was a couple movies, Joe.
Couple movies each. Tom, I watched a classic of horror. At least that's what I'm told it is. And this is a film called The Prowler. You ever seen this, Tom?
Yeah, this is the most average slasher movie that's ever been made.
Yeah. So this starts off like
Generic, that's what I meant.
telling
Generic.
you about World War II and how guys would get these Dear John letters. And that's a letter where their sweetheart back home breaks up with them, even though they're in the war and like need that to keep them going. Well, one night this girl that broke up with somebody via Dear John letter is out at the local dance at the it's a college town, and they go out to the little gazebo to make out and stuff. But hey, here comes a guy with military fatigues, and he's out to kill him with his military issue pitchfork, Tom. Now, I don't know that a pitchfork is something that's issued in the military, having never been in the military during peace or wartime, but I don't think that's something they give you, like a bayonet, which he does use, and a rifle. You think he should be shooting people, but no, he's stabbing them up. He's prowling around the town, Tom. And
Well, Joe, I know for a fact that in the Juggalo army, you are supplied with pitchforks, and they are to be used to be inserted into the throats of bigots, or down the throats of bigots, as they say. So maybe, just maybe, this guy was G.I. Juggalo.
maybe, yeah. So maybe he wasn't real military. He was a gang member. Um, yeah. So then they flash forward to the '70s, and this college town is going to have the first dance that they've had in 30 years, Tom. And all the young ladies and gentlemen are excited about it. But holy shit.
So what is this? My Bloody Valentine again?
All right. Oh, well, here's the thing. While this dance is going on, the local sheriff, he's going on vacation, Tom. So he's
It's
not going to,
probably going on a gaycation.
maybe, he's not going to be there. He's going on a boat trip. Maybe he's not going to be there. So his deputy has to take over and, make sure the town's okay. And the deputy, he's kind of hitting on the college girls and stuff. But the killer is back, Tom.
Mm.
Killer is back. and he starts killing folks with his stabbing ways. And that's pretty much the brunt of the movie until we figure out the reveal when the killer's mask is taken off. And holy shit, it's the sheriff, the guy that left at the beginning of the movie that said he wasn't going to be around. If you couldn't figure this out, you're just
Damn.
so kind of dumb.
It wasn't a vacation. It wasn't a gaycation. It was a staycation. It was a slaycation.
Yes. The redeeming qualities of this movie is the special effects. The kills are done pretty fucking good. This is some early Savini work, I guess, and just watch those scenes and just skip the rest of the movie. I'd say.
That was something I was thinking of. If we can go back to Horror Realm Con, how the hell didn't they have any of the fucking Pittsburgh people there?
Because they've done it so many times before.
But I mean, I think that would draw people because those motherfuckers love the Romero crew out there.
Mm-hmm. Savini does always pop up on Sunday. He just goes to the show and just kind of shops.
Gotcha.
Which is odd to me because he always buys like a trick or treat mask, which, like, to me that stuff is garbage. But he picks them up. Who am I to say? Hey, there's some pops over there too if you want some of those, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, they're just mass produced, so they're not as, quality as if you got it from an independent artist.
Mm-hmm.
The sculptures, a lot of them turn out good, but then they go to wherever they go to and come back with these minimalistic paint jobs or whatever. And I mean, that's just the nature of mass-produced novelties, I guess.
Yeah. Well, somebody's making money, Tom.
Somebody, not me. That's for fucking sure. Maybe
a
year before I die.
The Prowler, if that's your thing, I'm sure there'll be a 4K somewhere, and the special effects that look so great will not look as great because it's in 4K. If 4K is your thing, fuck it.
If 4K is your thing, I hope you're not into horror movies.
Right. Yeah, or monster movies, or anything of the like.
Anything made after 2016 or before. And even that's kind of pushing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think even like all that Marvel style CGI stuff looks even more cartoonish in 4K or whatever.
Colors are bright though.
Yeah.
You like bright colors. Oh shit, Joe. Well, I watched one of your favorite movies from one of your favorite bands. And this movie is Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny. They're not actually in the pick, but they're in a movie called The Pick of Destiny. Have you seen this one?
I saw it a long time back. I think I was pretty drunk when I saw it, so I was probably nodding in and out. But I remember it being like a collection of all the skits, the Tenacious D skits from that HBO show that they
There's
did.
a few of them in there for sure.
And of course I watched it for Dio. Dio coming through the poster or whatever. I need to rewatch it.
It holds up for the most part. I forget what the fuck movie I was at. I remember it was AMC Golf Point 30. I just don't remember which movie it was. And I seen it a couple times, the trailer for it, that is. I didn't know who these motherfuckers were. This was before Jack Black was like this big thing or whatever. And I was just like, God damn, this looks fucking stupid. Why am I always seeing this goddamn fucking trailer? Because it wasn't like a trailer like where it showed movie clips or something. It was just some fucking bullshit they made about like fucking them being 50-year-old burnouts or whatever the fuck. So I fucking avoided that shit when it fucking came out in theaters. And then when it hit DVD, everyone was just like, oh, this is so great. You got to see it, blah, 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 blah. And then I did see it, and it was pretty fucking good, Joe. After that, I fucking checked out the HBO show, and then they had like a couple live music DVDs or concert DVDs or whatever. Watched those and fucking I would drive around for a little bit listening to this soundtrack in the car like some kind of fucking Broadway theater guy. And looking back on it now, Joe, that's fucking embarrassing as shit. It's like rolling around listening to fucking Weird Al on full blast and shit. It's fine if you do that, but just know it's fucking embarrassing. But after rewatching this shit again, a lot of it's pretty funny. It still holds up. I just can't fully buy into Jack Black. I don't know why. There's something that just doesn't seem 100% genuine. Like there's something there. I don't know what it is. He's fine in the movie and everything, but there's just something missing about the guy that I can't get fully behind on. Don't know what it is, but the movie's pretty funny and it holds up for the most part. I had a good laugh. I had a few good laughs, Joe. I think Kyle Gass's fucking dry humor, that's what really fucking does it. Jack Black's more of a fucking cornball guy, but I mean the yin and the yang and whatever. But what a fucking mo driving around listening to this goddamn music. Now we got to blow this goddamn. But when fucking dude's just like, you're gonna gargle mayonnaise, and he goes, no, still makes me laugh to this day.
You did go see.
Because it's homophobic, you see.
You did go see Hamilton, so you know.
Now I saw the Book of Mormon.
Okay, I always get those two confused.
I know, because it's pretty much the same shit.
You're right. Yeah.
No, I understand. But yeah, the music's good. It works in the context of the movie. Great. And it works great if you know you're in the shop by yourself, just tapping your foot, thinking about the lyrics and the song in your head. But once you transfer that to your car stereo when you're driving around, you're getting a little bit of murky waters there. And I don't get the meatloaf thing. I know a lot of horror fans or fans of Meatloaf or Tales from the Crypt or Fight Club or whatever, but I always thought that was like some old pussy music, Joe, that I would do anything. Like that's the only thing I know. And it's just like, what is this pussy shit? Why are people behind Meatloaf?
Yeah, he doesn't
Is
do
he
rock music at all. Not at all. And his album covers are very deceptive. It's trickery that brought people in. And back then, it's like, well,
were they trapped?
I guess they were trapped. And what are they going to do? They just bought this record, and all right, well, let me listen to it anyway. Let me listen to it again, and then they started to like the songs, And I'm trying to remember one of his songs so I could belt out a few tunes to show you how not rock and roll it is, but I can't remember.
Yeah, all I know is the Anything for Love thing, and that's mostly because like a Wayne's World special that was on MTV, and I think they kept like showing the Leprechaun. It might have been a fucking special to promote the fucking first Leprechaun movie, for all I remember, but it was definitely some Wayne's World shit on fucking MTV promoting Leprechaun to where I first became fucking annoyed by that fat fuck. That fat falling off stage fuck. Rest in empowerment, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. It's definitely worth a watch.
Oh, he was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, so that's maybe why some horror fans.
Gotcha. Yeah, I never even fucking bothered with that thing. If I'm not watching that shit, sorry, I'm not watching fucking Planet of the Paradise or whatever the fuck, Phantom of Paradise.
I mean, it's no Hamilton or whatever, but It is
Cats.
what it is. Cats.
Yeah, but I would say check it out if you're into dick and fart jokes. I mean, that's really the kind of movie it is. It's like I want to say modern day Cheech and Chong, but it ain't modern no more, old man.
It is not. It is not.
So if you want a Cheech and Chong-esque movie starring a bunch of fucking privileged crackers, then check it out. You might like it. It's a musical too, if that wasn't fucking apparent enough. But yeah, it's worth checking out, Joe. Hey, Joe. I watched Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny. It's staying in the collection.
All right.
Forgot I had this pile of shit here. But yeah, it's cool, man. I had a good laugh. I forgot Paul F. Tompkins is in there. He's a good, funny man from Mr. Show. So.
Yeah. So a lot of their Mr. Show cohorts are in this, right?
And there's a handful. I think Jay Johnston and Old Anus was the Clockwork Orange motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's not a whole hell of a lot there. It's worth a watch though, for sure. If you like fucking dick and fart fucking musicals starring two 50-year-old men who are supposed to play people in their fucking 20s, I guess.
Yeah. The time I watched a horror classic that no one ever talks about, and I'd never seen, called Messiah of Evil. Have you ever heard of this one?
I have. It's a horror classic.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about it, or I am at least. This is one of those I don't know, how would you describe it? It's a dreamy type movie, Tom. It's got an atmosphere of a dream. It's like, hey,
A
nothing.
lucid nightmare.
There you go. That's a good description. You must watch a lot of horror movies.
No, I watch the Fish Jelly channel where it's a couple homosexual gentlemen talking about movies.
Messiah of Evil is about a attractive woman that goes to this seaside town to look for her dad. She hadn't heard from her dad in a couple of months, and he was consistent about writing her a letter a week. So she's worried that something might have happened to him. And she gets there, gets to his house, and like doesn't find any sign, and finds a cryptic diary, saying, "Hey, people here are acting weird. There's some strange stuff going on, and something to do with the moon turning blood red or something." And she goes to the art gallery. Said, "Hey, my dad is. Oh, we never heard of him." And she meets this other guy. Yeah, I saw one of your dad's paintings in the art gallery earlier. And it's just kind of a series of things like that. And then there's a random murder. Some weird looking hillbilly type guy driving around a truck kills some guy in a garage. And then all of a sudden, like townspeople are just chasing somebody down and they eat them. And then it's back to the girl just having conversations with this dude. It's just a movie with a bunch of weird series of events that I thought was cool. It's a movie I'll watch again, but I can't recommend it to anybody. Well, not to you, Tom, especially. You would hate the fuck out of this. You would be bored silly. But I think it was pretty cool. There's
Nothing about this shit sounds cool at all,
there's
motherfucker.
really attractive women in it too, but they just tease you with it. They like, "Oh, we're about to show you some nudity. This is what you've been holding on for all this time," and they don't. Whoop! They pull that rug out from under. Sorry, buddy, put your pants back on. I dig it. Messiah of Evil. If you like stuff like Death Dream or stuff like that, then yeah, this is for you. That's all I got to say about it, huh?
Well, shit. Did you watch anything else?
No.
Well then, Joe, let me welcome you to the grindhouse. Because we're in a theater, you see.
Yeah. From your buddies, the Weinsteins.
Not my buddies.
Uh, uh.
I don't even know them motherfuckers, Joe.
So Grindhouse. This was an experimental thing, right? This was your pick, so give us a little bit of the history on this.
So the history on this is Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. I think Robert Rodriguez came up with the idea to make a grindhouse double feature to simulate what a double movie night would be at Quentin Tarantino's house, because I guess old QT would throw films together and have like a bunch of trailers in front of them and throw in those fucking what's it, the shit like you were doing, and let's all go to the lobby, and have like a old theatrical experience in his house. So I guess they were doing that at the time, and old Rodriguez had the idea for each of them to make a movie and combine them as a double feature, call it Grindhouse, get some fake trailers together, and that's what it was. Don't remember what the budget for the movie was, but there was a budget for one movie for Grindhouse, and it was cut in half, or however they split it up. If I'd have to guess, Quentin Tarantino got more just because he's Quentin Tarantino, but who knows? Maybe it was 50-50. And where was I going with that? So yeah, it was two different movies, and they were not the 90-minute run length, or the 90-minute that most theatrical movies are. They were a little bit less, just so it wouldn't be so much for the audience to take in at once, because I did see this one in the theater, and towards the end, towards the middle of Death Proof, you definitely feel the length of this fucking movie. But we'll talk about that next week, Joe, because I've only seen Death Proof once, and that was when I went to old AMC on the Thursday night that it was released. Back in the day, they didn't have fucking, oh, you can just go at 3 o'clock Thursday and see the new movie that's not supposed to come out till tomorrow. You had to go at like 10 o'clock midnight to see the motherfucker, and there was only one showing. And you bet your ass I was there, boy. I was there. Kinda forever. Sorry, it's this. My bad. So, Joe, did you see this in the theater?
I also saw this in the theater, Tom. I remember it not being a very crowded theater. But yeah, I was there. I watched the whole thing. Same thing with you. I was like, yeah, so you're getting kind of grueling, you know? How much longer can this go on? But but yeah, it was an experience. You know, it was a cool experiment. I thought they did. I don't remember. I don't think it was successful for them, but Rodriguez definitely turned it into something for himself. But yeah, I feel that this one is the better of the two movies.
Yeah, as we talked about before, this is my favorite horror movie. Now, is it a horror movie? Mm. But if you got to categorize it as something, I guess it would be horror and sell it to the horror crowd. So, yeah, this movie's fucking great. It's about a chemical, I forget what it's called, a chemical weapon. Was it made by the Taliban, or did the Americans fucking sell it to the Taliban or something? Little gray area how the Taliban actually got this stuff, but they got this chemical weapon that's turning motherfuckers. What are they maybe they're turning them into like the rage zombies from 28 days later, where they're just like weird cannibalistic killers that maybe they're going to use it as a weapon. Maybe they're just going to use it to drop on their enemies and wipe out their enemies that way. Doesn't really get into that. You just got to know that this fucking chemical gets airborne and starts turning everybody into these fucking bubbly, herpy fucking monster things that just look like, ooh, I forgot to wear oven mitts when I was getting the pizza out of the oven, and now I'm all blistering up everywhere. So it focuses on a go-go dancer named Cherry Darling. Or Joe, what's the other name she's known as?
Fuck, I don't remember.
Bobomita. I was hoping you'd say it like a Mexican guy.
I don't remember. What is it?
Bobomita.
Babomita? That doesn't make no sense.
I'm pretty sure that's what old El Rey was saying. Or
I don't know.
maybe it's Bumblemita. Is there any Spanish word that kind of sounds like that shit, motherfucker?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyways, she's getting tired of the old sex work game. So she's gonna quit her job as a dancer, and then her fucking night just goes to hell in a heck basket, Joe. This this toxin chemical weapon gets released into the air, and it's just what happens from there. She runs into an old boyfriend named El Rey at the best goddamn barbecue restaurant in Texas, JT's Bone Shack, and things just kind of go from there, Joe. And then there's another set of characters who we are introduced to. A couple of doctors, maybe one doctor, maybe one's a nurse or a nursing assistant, Joe. Why don't you tell us about them?
I think she was more of a PA or a nurse practitioner. We'll say that. Um, they seem to have a rocky relationship, Tom. The male portion of this couple is played by, what's his name? Josh Brolin.
Thanos.
Yes, old Thanos now. And he seems quite upset with his bride and seeing like maybe she's messing around on him. Now, the bride chick, the nurse practitioner, she's played by the lifeguard from The Sandlot. And they get to the hospital, and there's some weird shit going on. People are being brought in, more people than usual. There's all kinds of like bad shit going on. But he's already looked at her phone and knows for a fact that she's messing around on him, Tom. He's going to let that go down. He's a doctor. You know, he's embarrassed like that. So he decides.
He's not only a doctor, Joe, but he's also a mad titan.
He is. And her specialty is injecting people. And that comes in a little later in the movie. She's got these little, I don't know, fucking garter belt injection things. It's really silly.
Dude, when fucking he has her in the closet and he's pulling those fucking caps off and fucking spitting her out at her head, that's like the rawest shit I've ever seen in a fucking movie ever. You feel each one of those motherfuckers hit her in the goddamn face.
So he gets infected. So he's still after her. And
So one of his buddies comes in and says, "Hey, I just got bit 30 minutes ago." And they say, "What? This rat looks like it's been here for 14 days, motherfucker. We got to cut your arm off, what?" So this shit infects you fucking quick and hard. And all these cases are coming into the hospital either from being bit or exposed to the gas that was released into the air.
yeah, so she's running away from this guy. He's chasing her down. She wants to go get her son, you know.
Every time I see this goddamn movie, when that motherfucker blows his head off, I laugh so goddamn hard.
Turns out her dad is the local sheriff, maybe,
Earl McGraw,
and they seem to have a rocky relationship, Tom. They're not on the best of
because
terms.
she's an undercover lesbian with a husband he doesn't care for.
Yep. And that's the whole thing. That's like her secret reveal is that she is having an affair, but it's with a woman, which probably not as shocking now if you've never seen this movie, but back then it was okay. Grindhouse. Um, they meet up with the other group of survivors, El Rey and his Rose McGowan girl, and they're all being hunted down because there's plenty of infected now, and they're kind of just shacked up at the Bone Shack for a while, Tom.
Best in Texas.
During the course of this movie, too, there's a whole lot of grain effect, you know, to make it look like the film was all scratched up. There's a little too much of that. You know, the movies that came out back then, they didn't really fucking look like that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look natural like an old grindhouse movie would, but this doesn't even feel like an old grindhouse movie. This is more stylized grindhouse, if we can say that.
Yeah. They get together. They decide, you know, they're finding out that it's not just any ordinary Mexican, Tom. It's El Rey. And what's El Rey's secret past? We don't know. They just kind of give us hints here and there. But he was some kind
And
of
Robert
badass.
Rodriguez does not know either.
No,
He's just supposed to be the most badass who's ever badassed.
he
And
was a
that was
TV
the
station at one point. But
he wasn't
now, now, now he's just driving a wrecker. But he's got to bring those old skills back, you know, to take out the mutants. And we're introduced to another batch of mutants, Tom. Tell us all about these rapists.
Well, they're not mutants, they're sickos, Joe,
Are
because
they?
they're
Okay.
infected, so they call them sickos. So yeah, at the beginning, which I didn't talk about, Bruce Willis and his army buddies, Bruce Willis actually killed Osama bin Laden. He came across Osama and the Taliban and shit when they were fucking with the DC-10. That's what it is, I'm pretty sure. When they were fucking with this DC-10, and he killed bin Laden, and then they got exposed to the chemical. And the only cure right now for this chemical is small doses of this DC-10 to like regulate their systems or whatever to keep it under control. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But Bruce Willis and his army buddies, they make a deal with one of the Taliban dudes to get him DC-10 for whatever reason, money, I guess. And at the beginning, the Taliban dude who's working with them brings them to the base who has more DC-10, and shit goes fucking sideways. So fucking, I forget guy's name, the Taliban guy, but he's just pretty much like fuck it and shoots the canisters and lets everything out into the air for some reason, even though fucking like 50 minutes later, oh, we should all go find an antidote and shit. Whatever. But so yeah, now Bruce Willis in the army, they know what's up, and they're all infected and shit. They're just trying to find more of this DC-10. But as everybody escapes from the bone shack because each location they go to, everything just gets destroyed. They go to the hospital, it gets destroyed. They go to the police station where they meet up with old Tom Savini and fucking the Terminator guy. That fucking burns down and gets destroyed. They go to the bone shack, that burns down and fucking gets destroyed. So then they're driving and they come across a bridge and fucking sickos are on both sides of them. They're just like, God damn it, we don't have enough ammo for this shit, motherfucker. And then from behind, all the zombies just keep getting shot. And then you find out that it's the fucking army guys. So they take everybody back, throw them in jail and shit. What reason? I don't know. They probably could have worked together, but they're all hopped up on this fucking DC-10. They don't know what the fuck to do. So OQT wants to get his dick wet. So, you know, this is probably the most grindhouse thing about this entry. Planet Terror is about to do some old-fashioned raping. If there's one staple of a grindhouse movie, it's rape.
Yes.
If there's two staples of a grindhouse movie, there's two rapes. And in this movie, there was almost two rapes. But luckily, oh, what's her nuts? Marley Shelton Dakota, I think her name is. She has some of those fucking needles on her and has a little fucking gun gimmick she made or whatever to shoot them out. So they overtake the rapist. Quentin Tarantino's balls drip off and then he fucking pukes up his stomach or some shit. A lot of goofy, melty fucking pustule effects on in here. Uh, and it's at that time uh, they break out of the prison cell because Jeff Fahey, JT, he's like just doing like a bullshit diversion, talking about his barbecue sauce and shit, and creates a diversion. He ends up getting shot, but El Rey ends up shooting the guard and is able to open up the thing. So he makes a gun to put on fucking Cherry's leg, and from there it's fucking just more goddamn awesomeness, Joe. She's blowing fuck. Luckily, in the commentary, it discusses how she was able to, fire this gun without ever pushing the trigger, Joe. Did you think about that? How this gun fired like rockets and bullets and shit without that trigger ever being pulled?
No, because I'm watching a movie about people with pustules, taking over, and no, this like it didn't matter to me.
No, well, then I'm not going to bring it up
Okay.
how it happened or anything. But then just from there, it's just, hey, let's kill as many fucking sickos as we can with this broad with a fucking gun for a leg. And god damn it, Joe, it is fucking awesome. And then out of nowhere, the Taliban guy's head explodes in a fucking awesome way. During they're trying to get to a helicopter, El Rey ends up getting shot, saving Cherry. He tells Cherry that he knocked her up because he never misses. He dies, and they fucking. You see, Joe, in real life, the Mexicans try and get into America.
But
But in
now,
this fantasy world, the Americans are going to migrate to Mexico. And everyone lives happily ever after in Mayan temples and
and
shit.
Machu Picchu or some shit.
Yeah, this movie's just fucking awesome fun. Doesn't take itself seriously at all. The gore is fucking ridiculous and over the top. The fucking monsters are just fucking ridiculous and over the top looking. Uh it's just not taking itself seriously, knows what it is, knows it's just a fucking fun time. The If I have one thing that I don't like, it's like some of the CG's kind of but I mean you go back and watch pretty much anything from before and the CG isn't going to hold up. And if I got two things, should have let the dog live, but You know, it's a grindhouse movie. You got to hit them with the bullshit. All right,
Right.
that's
House.
yeah. But
Um,
other than that, I fucking love this shit, Joe.
it is a fun movie. I don't think it's anywhere close to Rodriguez's best. I enjoy Spy Kids probably more than this.
It's because George Lopez is in it.
Yes, all George, because Machete's in it. Um, Rose McGowan looks really, really good in this. Those twins are annoying as fuck and probably should have been cut from
Yeah,
the movie.
that's his nephews. He was really trying, or nieces, sorry. He was really, or I mean, for a couple years, they were really trying to make the crazy babysitter twins something.
Yeah, they did a few conventions, I remember. But nah, that was, I mean, I don't know. They're twins, okay.
Yeah, that I can never buy into.
That whole shit with the missing reel. Okay, it's a gag and I get it, but after the movie came out, people were like saying, "Oh yeah," because every once in a while there'd be a missing reel when you'd go watch a grindhouse. No, that never fucking happened.
Well, maybe you got the prints early, Joe.
You know?
Maybe you got before they got to every other theater in America.
Sure, yeah, yeah. Because they looked through it and saw, oh, well, that's a missing rule. Well, you know, let's show it anyway. No, they didn't do that. Because even back then, people would have gone to the box office like, "What the fuck? Give me my money back."
Well, I'm not calling you a fucking liar, Joe.
Yeah,
But in the commentary, he did say, "Oh yeah, when we went to QT's house, there'd be things with missing reels and where the print would just be so bad it would just turn reddish magenta."
yeah.
And
Now
I was like,
that shit gets old, you know. Now I'm sure there's shit with missing reels, but back then, when the stuff was made, no. You know, when it was actually on the grindhouse circuit, if you want to call it that, or the drive-in circuit, no, there wasn't fucking missing reels. Um, what the fuck? Oh, we're talking about grindhouse. Planet
we're talking about Planet Terror.
Planet Terror. Yeah. Yeah, and he throws his kid in there uh, with
Shoots
the
himself right in the head.
fucking Danny Torrance haircut that he's wearing. It's fun. It is definitely a fun movie. Like you said, some of it does not look good now, but some of it still looks pretty fucking great. Um, I dig it for the most part, but some of the dialogue and the way some of it looks like Tarantino had a bigger hand in the script and in some of the production of it than
The script, I guess, was written shortly after El Mariachi Road Racers, maybe somewhere around that time. It was like 30 pages, and then he dusted it off when they had the idea to do this. And
Mhm.
then he cast people, and then once he had the people cast, he reworked the script and finished writing it to play towards the actors he casted, which is great if you have the time and resources to fucking do that.
Yeah. And Rodriguez, one thing he was good at is making money for the producers. So, you know, after a while, they let him do shit like Spy Kids and Machete and whatever,
Sin City.
and
No,
getting
Sin City was before Planet Terror.
so yeah, so they let him do shit like Planet Terror. Uh, this also it's got the trailer to Machete. We didn't talk about that. How these things had fake trailers associated with them, and a lot of people after seeing this were more excited by that trailer than the two movies. And so that grew into its own franchise, which I wish they would have made at least one more. But now I think it's a little too late.
I
Uh,
mean, they could still make fucking machete kills. Or, no, machete in space. What's it supposed to be called?
Machete in Space.
Is it? Okay, yeah, because kills is the second one.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, that trailer's fucking dope as shit. I just figured we'd get into that when we actually talk about that one.
And well, the trailer had more nudity than this movie did, which this was a big disappointment in this movie. You're gonna make a grindhouse movie, don't just imply nudity. You got to show it. You know?
In the commentary, he said he wanted to have the nudity up front, which there is very slightly in the back room of the top or go-go dance bar or whatever, because he said he wanted to hit you with it right up front so you'd be thinking there was more and more, but there never really was. So there's that.
Yeah.
Not saying it's a good bad choice or whatever, but there's the explanation.
Okay. Good explanation, Roberto.
Joe, you ever see this before?
Is that the book with all
That's
the?
a book. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm covering
Yeah.
some of it up.
I remember, when the movie came out, I saw that at the old Barnes and Noble and thought about picking up a copy, but I never did.
I did because, as I told you, I love this fucking movie ever since I first saw it, Joe.
Hey, I liked it enough to make a metal piece of Cherry Darling.
Fuck yeah, and it sold, didn't it?
It did.
Fuck yeah.
It did.
But there's some concept art in here for what could have been the Sickos, and they are drastically different. They went with the design they did because they were easy to sculpt and make, and it would have been cheaper than the stuff I'm going to show you now, Joe. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to kind of move it because I can't see the screen and what it's looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks like it would have been quite a bit of work.
Yeah. If they would have went with those mutant designs or that alien or something, that would have took a lot more time and a lot more money, something they didn't have. But I mean, the look that they got, I think it's perfect. It's like infected fucking motherfuckers and shit. So
Yeah.
shit's great. Fucking still holds up. I get choked up a couple times during the movie, so fuck. I would say, man, if that dog didn't die and that CGI was a little better, I'd like it more. But shit, when, excuse me, you're my favorite horror movie, how much better can you really get, Joe? Unfortunately, or fortunately, next week we'll be doing Death Proof, which I really didn't care for, Joe. This style of old grindhouse exploitation movie, I really didn't care for. The whole car genre, Crazy Mary, Dirty Larry, or whatever the fuck. Never really cared for that fucking kind of shit.
Well, we'll get into that then.
Next week at the Grindhouse. Joe, you like clones?
Send in the clones. Tom.
This is a big issue, Joe. First appearance of Ben Reilly.
It is. It is. So, when we left Spider-Man's last, how did we leave him? Up on a bridge. On a bridge. He escaped from all that shit, right? Or,
He fucking the jackal got him.
yeah, old Jackal got him, and the Jackal revealed that he's Professor Warren, and I don't know. So this starts out, recapping all that, and then it goes into Warren's history. Because Warren again captures Spider-Man, has him like strapped down to a table because he might be doing some sexings to him or something. I don't know. It all seems kind of homoerotic the way he's got
I
him
mean,
all.
he was probably, from what we find out later, he was probably planting some kind of seeds in Gwen Stacy's face.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, he explains that, he hates Spider-Man's because he felt like a father figure to Gwen Stacy, and we're thinking it's a father figure that's like got an illicit thing going with the daughter. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. This guy is truly evil. Maybe the first real bad guy we've seen in Spider-Man so far.
let me stop you there, Joe. How did you read this one?
I read it on the YouTube.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I where did I read it? It was some fucking web page. I forget. And then I listened to a review on YouTube because I was like, wait a minute. One of these motherfuckers is Ben Riley or Kane. I got to figure out because I know one of these motherfuckers come back in the 90s and it's just a convoluted fucking mess. So it turns out that this comic was edited. Fucking Miles Warren originally said like he was in love with Gwen Stacy, and I guess they did an edited version to where he was a father figure, he was saying. So you might have done the edited version.
I
It
guess.
was, yeah, it was kind of a mess, just like the Clone Saga, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The
So he
shit
does
that I
that.
read definitely seemed like he was in love with Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. And then he kicks Spider-Man's ass. He's kicking Spider-Man's ass.
How? He doesn't
I,
have
and
superpowers or
that's what I'm
anything.
wondering too. And he explains in one thing. So I started working out. Oh, but you can kick Spider-Man's ass? You
Like
know?
Spider-Man holds back his punches so he doesn't kill motherfuckers.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But then it's just like he lets him go. Says, "Hey, meet me at Shea Stadium tomorrow, you punk ass spider." And Spider-Man goes to the Bugle, hoping to talk to Mary Jane alone. Because does Mary Jane fucking work there or something? Why would he go looking for her there? That doesn't make any sense either. That was stupid. But since there's other people there at the Bugle, imagine that people that work there are actually there, so he doesn't get to talk to her. So he leaves. It's time for his big showdown with the Jackal, because the Jackal still has that Ned Leeds guy. It's got him all tied up. It says, "Surprise, surprise, Spider-Man's." Kicks his ass, knocks him out again. Spider-Man wakes up, and there's another Spider-Man there. And they're both saying the same thing. They're both pointing at each other, and no, I'm Spider-Man's. No, I'm Spider-Man's. Which one is it? We don't know, Tom. We don't know.
Mm.
But it doesn't matter because they tell the Jackal, "You're a killer." And he goes, "Oh my God, I am a I am a killer." Gwen Stacy tells him that and starts hitting him, like girls do, how they hit you on the shoulder like that when they're real mad. And yeah, it just snaps him back to reality. So he goes and frees Ned Leeds, but the building still blows up, Tom. It blows up, and the Jackal dead. The Spider clone
Maybe.
dead.
Maybe. Or is it? Is it the clone?
We don't know, Tom. We
See
won't
in
find out.
fucking 250 episodes, you fuck.
We won't find out for many. In fact, they won't acknowledge any of this shit for many issues. Uh,
Mm-mm.
Gwen Stacy, you know,
Yeah, I just gotta go. I don't have his social security number
yeah,
or anything, but I gotta just
we
hit the
got no f-
bricks.
together, Peter. And she walks off into the distance of the graveyard. It's like, okay, that wraps up that storyline, I guess. But I
Hopefully
guess,
there's not like a third clone that didn't come out the pot well that has a couple abnormalities that we
and long hair.
find out. Yep.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so the next issue is called, I don't know, Am I the Real Spider-Man's or something like that. But yeah, this is
Well, you forgot that him and Mary Jane go and do some fucking and
oh,
sucking, and
yeah,
that's how the
right.
issue ends.
That's it. And with Peter like banging the shit out of Mary Jane, which she
We're
doing.
back to the status quo of Peter
Right.
Parker or Ben Riley being a pussy hound.
We don't know because like many grindhouse comics of the day, there's some Hmm. These are key issues. This is like some of the best of Spider-Man shit, and it's not very good. It's more confusing than anything else.
It's gonna get a lot more confusing, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but come on, Roger Stern or somebody else, take over this book.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, big 150 next week.
Yep.
We'll see how this storyline wraps up. Or we won't, because this is the last episode.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about
Hey Joe, you like lists? Lists where we don't get molested for friendship?
that. Sometimes, Tom.
Okay.
Sometimes I like lists. As you suggested, our most embarrassing childhood moments. Maybe I blocked a lot of shit out because this was a very difficult list to come up with shit. And then I remembered about things we've talked about in other lists, So I was like, okay, well, shit, I've already talked about that, but let me talk about it again. One of them was being caught in my own imaginary world, Tom. Like I was, sitting there in the family room and we had family over and everybody was taken off and I'm there by myself. So my imagination starts running wild and there's like some, I don't know, some evil skeletons that pop up. So I jump up and grab my imaginary sword and start fighting them, and I have big fucking long choreographed fight with, I don't know, skeletons and robots and all kinds of shit. I'm jumping around, probably rolling, doing those rolls so I can stab somebody like that, and finally I do some kind of spin and I spin and I notice fucking everybody just standing there looking at me. So I just stop, freeze. They all start cracking up. Hey.
Mijo es muy loco. Boy's got the devil in him.
Probably gonna be one of them theater guys.
He does drive around listening to Tenacious D. Oh, shit. What do I got? Ah, yes. I was in elementary school, as people who can't speak would say. And I remember these next door neighbors. I went with them to a baseball park. I don't know if like a bunch of little league games were going on at that time, or there was just a lot of people at this baseball park. And I like went to the bathroom to take a shit or something. It's very, very blurry what happened, but I somehow got shit all the way up the back of my brand new Spider-Man shirt. And
Ah,
in these days, you couldn't just go to any store anywhere
right.
and get a comic book shirt. This shit had to be fucking cut out from the back of a comic book or bought from an actual comic shop. And somehow just shit up the back of it, got shit all fucking over it, so we had to leave early, and I probably ruined their whole family time or whatever just because somehow this fat little kid ended up shitting up his fucking back in a public
I
place.
shit my shirt. Gotta go.
Yep. Don't actually know what happened because I was fucking very young, but I definitely do remember ruining another family's fucking day because the fucking friend they decided to bring got fucking shit all the way covered in his shirt, which they had to fucking drive in their car home. Probably with the windows down. And that shirt was never worn
Oh,
again.
that shit's done.
It was dope. It was like an all over print Todd McFarlane Spider-Man shirt. Man, fuck.
This was at a family gathering at I think it was at our house. Yeah, it was like 4th of July or one of the events with firecrackers. Like I was walking by and I noticed in the kitchen they had like ingredients mixed up because the women were in there cooking because that's the way.
It's where they belong, you
Right.
see. I hope they were barefoot and knocked up, Joe.
And I noticed that there was some diced pickles, there. And what kid doesn't love pickles, Tom? All right. So I thought I'd be sneaky, reach in, grab myself a little handful, eat them up. But those were jalapenos, Tom. And I like spicy food now, but as a kid, that fucking hurt. Yeah. So I'm running around like waving my mouth. I go outside and turn on the fucking water hose, and I'm just
And it ended up I was actually blowing the gardener.
that's what I get for being sneaky.
Da, 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 da. Ah, yes, my number 4. This was, I think in 5th grade, the whatever's after elementary school. So I'm guessing that's about 5th grade. I had a quote unquote girlfriend as much as any 5th grader could. And she was home alone, and one of her friends were over there. So I fucking rode my bike and raped and stabbed everybody in the house, Joe.
He was the prowler. Pitchfork.
I was just sitting home minding my own business, having a big bowl of tomato soup when I got a phone call. And it said, hey, you should come over. Nobody's here. So, all right, I fucking pedal my bike about, 5 or so miles, which is, it's pretty long when you're in 5th grade, not telling anybody where you're going. And then, long story short, her friends just like, oh yeah, you should kiss her and all that. So instead of just kissing her, we end up awkwardly making out for like minutes and minutes and minutes. And when it's all done, she says, you taste like tomato soup. And the next day, Joe, I no longer had a girlfriend.
You were tomato soup boy.
Yes. But now I'm the marinara kid.
A little boy.
Lori's still waiting on that shirt, Joe.
I will get to it.
Oh, well, we got to keep the podcast going until the shirt's released, I guess.
Oh fuck! I think I'm finally gonna sell something. Uh,
Going into prostitution, are you?
so we used to go to church on a regular basis, Tom. Being good Hispanics, and there was one day that I'm just not feeling good in church. And
Uh-oh.
it must have been like Easter or something going on because there was a bunch of my cousins sitting with us, and I guess like I made it through all the way to the closing prayer. We're about to get out of there, but I just can't stand it no more, Tom. I get up, start walking down the middle of this really fucking crowded church, and just spew my guts out, right? Throw up in front of everybody in church. And this was like bad. This was like Linda Blair projectile vomiting shit, and then and just I throw up, and I'm looking around. I just kind of like fall down and start crying. That wasn't nice. But the thing is too, and afterwards they were supposed to have like some like social, where it's like they have food and everything.
That
Yeah,
was canceled, I assume.
I would hope so. They took me home. Hopefully they
Oh,
prayed for me.
so after being told I tasted like tomato soup, Joe, I was embarrassed to eat in front of broads after that. Not just because I was a big fat kid eating, but I was just like, oh shit, what if my new girlfriend asked me to kiss her and say, oh, you taste like a man's ass. So that always, I remember there was this one girlfriend, and like I'd always go up there and I just wouldn't eat. I did once, but I made her fucking like turn the other way around. We were eating in her room, and I made her turn around, and then I turned around, and then I snapped her neck. So she wouldn't hear me coming. No, she heard me coming, being a big fat kid, but you didn't see it. Number 2. Oh, it's like pillows. I could fall asleep in your arms. Trying to choke you, you whore.
See
That's
the
what I would
walk.
say as a child. Hmm?
Oh, number 2.
Yes.
We used to, like a bunch of kids, we'd walk home from school, and in our elementary, you had to walk past another elementary, which was a Catholic school. And as one day, as we're walking home, there's a fight in the Catholic school, like playground or whatever, and it's 3 kids beating up another kid. And my comic book sense of justice and sensibility says, "Hey, that's not fair. Leave him alone." So they do, and proceed to come and beat me up, Tom. So there I am getting beat up by 3 kids, and it's a classic schoolyard fight where there's just a bunch of people all around. Like I'm not crying or anything, but I'm just there getting beat up in shock. It's like,
Why would you do this to me?
yeah, what the fuck? Why is anybody helping me now?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. All right.
Yeah, it's
So I think this was around a 6th or 7th grade. Oh, excuse me. It's with another girlfriend, Joe. And she went away for a couple weeks on vacation with her family to go see other family. And then she comes back and says, Joe, that she cheated on me. She kissed another boy kid, Joe. Can you believe it?
oh,
But it wasn't just that. She told me this in front of her big, fat, ugly kid friend, Joe. And then she said she wasn't gonna be my girlfriend anymore, Joe. But then she said, don't worry, because my big, fat, ugly kid friend here likes you. And then I just had to sit around like this shit wasn't fucked when I should have strangled the fuck out of both of them.
right.
Like I'm picturing it now. We were just like all 3 sitting on the side of a fucking grocery store, and I just should have picked my bike up and just beat the fuck out of both of them with it. But I didn't, because I'm a gentleman. Fucking whores.
Well, Tom, number 1, I was at a park with my cousins,
Uh-oh.
and those water fountains that they have that are shaped like animals, like there'll be a lion, and you kind of got to stick your head in its mouth to
No.
drink. Well, they had those when I was a kid. So, and you had to like get up on a little stoop to get up on it. So you're a bit elevated. And well, I was getting water, Tom, and my mean cousin pants me right there. And I can't I'm in shock. Like, why would somebody, this is the thing ever. And I'm having trouble pulling my little shorts back up, It just seemed to take forever, and it was quite embarrassing, Tom.
Oh, dude, pantsing is always the funniest shit as long as it doesn't happen to you.
Salt is what it is, Tom.
Like the funniest shit I've ever seen when Jamel got pantsed at Frightmare and he wasn't wearing any underwear and he just had a weird small little pingle. Oh, it was so fucking funny. Oh shit. Oh, since we decided not to go dark with this, I mean, someday down the line, well, hey, top 5 traumatic childhood experiences. I guess I'll save that for that one. So, my number one, I guess I'll go with. I had a backup. Joe. This was, I think, 5th grade, 5th or 6th grade, because it was in the same school. This girl, this is fucked because we were so young, Joe.
You've had a lot of lady trouble early on in life, Tom.
Yep. And nothing ever happened because I was a little puss and molested for friendship plays a thing and where it just fucked me up, Joe. So, this girl called. It was, oh, hey, well, why don't you come over and I'll give you a blowjob? I was like, what? I'm like 11, 12. Oh my God. So I race over there and then she's fucking just like flashing her little girl tits. Gross to think about now because I'm a grown fucking man.
And
but
it was
like,
really in the closet.
She was like at the back, like kitchen window where it's a big sliding glass door, like doing this kind of thing and shit like that. And fucking just like going all around the fucking windows of the house doing that. And then I would like run around the house. And then her dad pulled up, Joe. Hey, boy, what are you doing in my house? This was in Chicago, and I forgot to mention this was a black family, Joe. Hey, boy, what you doing in my house? Looking through my windows and shit. I'm just, no, daughter told me to come over for school. You yanking my chain, boy? No, no. You know what I mean by yanking my chain, right? No, not really. So it was just no big awkward situation like that. Mm. Little fat white kid getting yelled at for looking at this African American gentle fellow's fucking young daughters pushed together top tits. But to be fair, I was the same age. It's just gross thinking about now. So yeah, I wouldn't whack off to that memory if that's what you're thinking. That's fucking gross and probably highly illegal in the year fucking 2052.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So hopefully someday we talk about our fucking top 5 childhood fucking whatever I was going to say horrifying mind scars, but maybe not next week. Joe, what are we going to talk about next week?
I will let you know that in the
God damn it.
day.
Is there even going to be, hey, Joe, you feel like just saying fuck it, we'll do another show and try it again next week?
Maybe I'll just stick with the phone from the beginning. Fuck.
All right, then. Well, everybody, I fucking way too many people watched last week's episode. I was looking at the numbers, and I mean, it's nothing to fucking brag about, but a lot more people watched that awful bullshit of a show
That was the worst
than
episode
should have.
of the fucking time.
I didn't even bother doing the intro and outro music for the podcast feed. I just did some blank ass picture forms like this shit sucks. Don't listen. But they did. They wanted to see what it was all about, and it was all about a bunch of fucking bullshit, Joe. But hey, dwnproductions.net forgot to fucking say, hey, here's a new mask I made. It's not on the site, and you probably won't be able to buy one, but here it is. So, hey, maybe Joe will get a package in the mail and he can fucking show it off next week.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, excuse me, head on over to dwnproductions.net. Check out all the shit that I desperately need, make and sell. Maybe you want something custom made. Now, if you're watching live or in the next couple days or listening, now would be the perfect time to hit me up and get something made, because not only will you get a good deal because I'm desperate, but you'll get it relatively quick. So dwnproductions.net, DWN Productions, dwnproductions.net.
After that, go to fastcustomshirts.com. I've added a bunch of shirts that nobody seems to have an interest in, but maybe you will. If not, click through a few pages. Maybe you'll find something. Order it. I'll get it shipped out to you.
Everybody, you have a fucking great week, and hey, maybe we'll be back to try this again. In the meantime,